Hey, True Believers, England team here. It's Monday night, time to talk. By the way, Monday nights is whatever you want to talk about night. Sure, we have a couple of, we got a couple of topics to talk about. I want to talk about the new direction that Disney Plus wants to take Marvel's Daredevil into. Hey, you remember those dark and gritty days where it was pretty cool and Bullseye was really shown to be a threat? Well, yeah, we're going to talk about that. Also have a story about an older character, but a lovely one. And he taught us all to eat our spinach and how they want to fuck him up too. So anywho, also, if you find any story, if you want to talk about, by all means, I do have to admit, I have not yet seen the Sandman trailer. So if we do that, we will definitely be playing it, stopping it, playing it, and stopping it, and then getting copyright hit, and then I'll have to take this down. All right, so know where we're going, guys. So I got to tell you, I love the Daredevil show. Eric, I know you only watch sports ball and weird Norwegian porn. What is have you ever seen the Daredevil show?
Well, you can yeah, that's person who I'm doing my last stream with tonight. No, I loved it. I loved all 3 seasons, yeah, including the second one. I thought it was the best of the bunch.
You thought second season was best?
No, I thought Daredevil was the best.
The Daredevil was the better of them.
I liked everything, including Iron Fist. So I was pretty easy mark for those Marvel Netflix shows, but yeah. Daredevil season 1. I would put up there in like the next tier down from like the first season of House of Cards, or pick a season of The Wire. Yeah, I mean, it elevated itself past. You get out of the superhero bubble, son. Get some culture.
It has black people in it. I'm scared.
You know, brother, you should.
You're not Zach. No, it elevated itself past superhero show and into the realm of just not even
great.
Yeah,
it's great TV.
Yes.
And I don't care what they do. Well, I do care what they do. I cannot see anybody else playing Kingpin anymore. This is Vincent D'Onofrio's character from here on in until death. Kingpin has to be Vincent D'Onofrio. He's just freaking amazing in it. Let's see. It's entirely possible that contractually Disney Plus can't follow the storylines of the Netflix show. Me, I'm giving a wait and see before prejudging the show. I'm going to prejudge because that's what YouTubers do.
Damn straight.
Well, the rumors are.
Sidekick says it's Monday night. It's 9:30. 9:30. It's time to party. Party on, E, and party on, Vank. Party on, Bring. Well, it gets a little clunky at the
end. According to the article on CBR.
Hold on, I'm going to get to the article. Okay, wait. Damn. Say something.
Well, you guys have to talk about Daredevil. I can't talk about it.
Building up to the article. We're getting there.
He's ready to monologue.
I'm falling asleep till you get to the article.
He can't be trusted, kids. He can't be trusted. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Okay, sure, fine. All right, well, hurry along. I'm trying to unmute. I think, okay, there we go. I'm trying to unmute while you're unmuting. I keep muting you.
I have the power to unmute myself. I'm part administrator.
It's like the door handle. Just stop picking up on the door handle. Unlock the door. Yeah, that.
Come on, I got a game in a few minutes.
All righty. Okay, let's get to it since frickin' Venkman has the patience of a 5-year-old. Okay, so Disney Plus reboot may look to Wade and Sam Nee's lighthearted comic book run. And I got to tell you, I haven't read it. I actually had the book on auction a couple of times, but I've never read Mark Waid's run. I've heard some people like it, some people don't, but I have heard that instead of the darker version, he's almost a kind of Errol Flynn type character. Did you ever read this run, Eric?
No, I was gone by then, but
yeah.
From what I understand, it had, I'm talking here. It was more reminiscent of the swashbuckling days,
Yeah.
which is fine, but I don't think that's what people are going to want to tune into the show for.
Yeah, it's kind of, especially after the first 3 seasons. We want the gritty. It's kind of like, I mentioned how I finally watched Batman and Robin properly. It's not a continuation of the Burton movies. It's a continuation of the 66 TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to fail if they do this. But it goes on to say, Marvel Studios may have the perfect way to bring Daredevil into the MCU while still honoring the comics. Ms. Marvel co-creator, executive producer Sana Amanat spoke to Murphy's Multiverse about the upcoming Disney Plus show, which sees the creative shepherd, a character she helped realize on the pages. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, but while Kamala Khan's blah, 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 get to fucking Daredevil. Come on. Here it is. Fans have been worried about the upcoming Daredevil reboot. One option, which the outlet floated to Amanat, was to base the series on the more playful tone of Mark Waid and Chris Samney and Javier Rodriguez's run of the character. Now, I'm sorry, but I don't care what you're doing. If you speak the name Amanat, I'm sorry. I lost confidence.
You say Amanat, I say I'm an out.
Yeah, it's just hey-o. But yeah, that's kind of the way I'm looking at it there. It's just look, I even read I read the first 12 issues of Ms. Marvel. I don't get it. What's up, RDV?
Well, I'm just waiting for my turn to talk. You guys been
Going
talking.
ahead. Yeah, I like
I'm trying to talk. You're going. Psst, psst.
Are you gonna say something? You're just gonna be...
I don't think he is.
No. So
he said no.
Based on the title, this sounds like a whole rumor. There's no. It's just like sources say they could do this.
Marvel Studios, Ms. Marvel co-creator and executive producer Sana Amanat spoke to Murphy's Multiverse about the upcoming Disney Plus show, which sees the creative shepherd, a character she helped realize. How about which sees the creative, shepherd, a character? That's what they're actually saying there. That's why I was like, what the hell? But while Kamala Khan, fans may be aware, one option, which the outlet floated to Amanat, which means Disney Plus said to Amanat, was to base the series on a more playful tone of Mark. So this is Disney Plus's idea. Yeah.
So, I mean, if they do this, they're going to kill anybody who's a fan of the Netflix show's interest in watching this because...
Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's like, it's Batman's forever. It's Batman and Robin.
Yeah. They go from Keaton to go to the Tommy Lee Jones and, the Riddler and just go to like a very campy comic,
See, the problem they're going to run into is the other series that Disney Plus has done, the characters that came from the movies, their personalities were already set.
Yeah.
So these were like extensions of that. Moon Knight was basically the first one that was cut from original cloth. And then from what I understand, they kind of forgot to put Moon Knight in it. But Daredevil is something that fans have seen a version of. And if you Disneyfy it, you're going to find out that formula works much better when the Disneyfied version is the first version fans see. And that would be my advice to Sana Amanat. You might not want to do that.
To say you can't do the darker version, continue like it is, well, why the hell are they on the Disney Plus then, under mature rating?
Well, that's the thing. They've already got the mature rating out there. They've got it behind the paywall, so to speak, where parents have to allow their kids to do this. But what it seems to me is they might want to open it up to the more family-friendly Marvel, even though some of the Marvel stuff isn't exactly family-friendly.
We'll look at that next paragraph. We'll talk about where they might change it.
I don't see why not, Amanat said when asked if a lighthearted spin on the hero could work for the new show. Mark Waid's run was pretty seminal. Sorry. We've never seen that kind of story, and I love the spin on that. And it was such an unexpected take on the character in the same way. I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that in the MCU. Why not? We like to take risks, and this is the fun part of exploring multiple stories. So maybe. Though Wade had already been working on Daredevil, artist Chris Samani, colorist Javier Rodriguez, arrival in 2013, added a colorful tone to the typically dark character. As Wade, Samani, and Rodriguez continued collaborating on The Man Without Fear over the next couple of years, brighter stories emerged that were a grand departure from past takes on the character. Eventually, Daredevil, the hero in the comic, would return to his gritty roots. Now, here's the thing. I can actually see this working in the terms of comics. Comics never end. Well, they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to reboot every 6 issues. So it's not bad, actually, after a long, gritty story to have something more lighthearted, like maybe Mark Waid's brought to it. After every big story in the X-Men, they would have a baseball game just to kind of bring it down, make it more human, and to remind people that the characters are characters. What's up, Eric?
I would say the other problem they're going to have is Daredevil had a crap ton of fans that were really anticipating a 4th season.
Yes.
And if they finally get it, and it's Daredevil in top hat and tails dancing the old soft shoe, they're going to be pissed.
I think so. Well, it ended on a cliffhanger of Bullseye getting the adamantium spine. He was going to be he was going to become Bullseye, not just the guy in the Daredevil con. I will say this. My ask, no matter which one they go with, put him in the damn suit. We had 1 season of the 3 with him in the suit. Put him in the Daredevil suit. I know I've heard people say, "Oh, I like him out of the suit." Yeah, shut up. I don't want to hear from you. I'm sorry. This isn't one of those things I'm debating.
Is this the one where he's wearing a Christmas sweater? He says, "I'm not Daredevil," or is that Bendis? That's what I want to know, because if that's the case, I'm definitely not watching.
Okay, correct me if I'm not mistaken, but the Kingpin did appear in the last 2 issues of episodes of Hawkeye.
Yeah.
How was he portrayed?
Violence.
He was portrayed very much like Kingpin from the TV show. The only difference is that this time when he hit somebody, there was less blood. It was the same actions. Like he threw Hawkeye around a lot instead of, like in the TV show, he would have held the person and just beat him into submission into a bloody pulp. With Hawkeye, it was the Kate Hudson Hawkeye. He was just throwing her all over the place. I know what I said. And he was just throwing her all over the place. So she got bruised up, but not beaten. I don't think the Disney Kingpin, even though he's portrayed the same way, the actor is playing him the same way. I don't think that this one's going to take Kate Bishop's head to a car and then just close it until the head comes off.
No, we don't necessarily need that, but again, I don't want, I don't want a wisecracking joke telling Daredevil that 80% of the scenes take place in the middle of the afternoon. You don't need to show the after effects of the violence. Hell, but scary movies work best when you don't see the violence. But you've got to have that there if you want Daredevil to be successful. At least,
we don't want Daredevil to be caught by Elektra and put on a big old grill that the sun is going to cook him on, and see the same Daredevil time, same Daredevil.
In Zdarsky's Devil's Reign, when he went in to go kill Matt Murdock, who actually was Mike Murdock, posing as Matt, you saw him beat him, you saw the blood, but then you saw the body laying there lifeless afterwards. You didn't see him. You didn't see his fist actually hitting the face and stuff. It wasn't like gory, but it was on there, and you can do that. Like I said, Moon Knight had some gore scenes there too, but for most part it was kind of PG, PG-13.
Yeah,
but
well, they can do PG-13 Daredevil. They've already done it with the Ben Affleck movie. Just do it with better writing.
I would venture as much to say that the Netflix series was the Frank Miller kind of run. Because you had Elektra, you had the Hand, you had all. So now we're going afterwards in the comic books where we're going to go Happy Rainbows.
Well, it wasn't Happy Rainbows, but it was still pretty good. It goes on to say, despite the Netflix Daredevil series coming after the acclaimed Wade Samani Rodriguez run, it went in the darker direction of the previous comics, and that version of the show even made its way to Disney Plus with the other Defenders. So it's not impossible that the Daredevil reboot will follow in those footsteps. Of course, original Disney Plus content is considerably lighter, so some changes will likely be made. But if the minds behind the show decide to take a page from Wade and Somni, perhaps even relocating Matt Murdock to San Francisco, please no. Not today. Not today. Not these days. No. Not these days. I that's just something I want. No. Okay, so there you go, gang. That is their plan, or at least the discussions of a plan or something. Like I said, just keep them in the suit. I would be afraid that the Marvel humor will seep into this. This is where, oh my gosh, we have a dramatic moment. Let's not pause to have everybody feel it. Let's have a quip to make people forget that something bad just happened. I don't want to see that in Daredevil, because that's just not Daredevil.
At the end of this,
Parker, yes. Matt Murdock, no.
At the end of the season, bring in Superior Iron Man, and where he just shock therapies freaking Matt Murdock to death.
Tevye is confused by me saying not these days. No, don't put him in San Francisco now, because
hey,
this book even was before everything went incredibly woke.
Yep.
Woke, SJW, all of that was still fringe. Now they have all of the power. Now they have the corporations. Now they have the TV stations. If you speak out against certain things, you are the is, the O, the phobe, and so forth and so on. I don't know what would happen to the Daredevil character if given into that particular. So I don't trust them. I just don't trust them.
So here's a question. Aside from Kingpin and Bullseye, what villains would you like to see on this new show?
Stiltman. I would love to freaking see Stiltman brought to in life. I'm not freaking kidding. I am not kidding. I want to see Stiltman brought to life. Tevye, Ben Affleck's Daredevil was written poorly. It was actually edited poorly too. I would recommend the director's cut. It's much better.
Bullseye was great though. Apart from the shaved head and the bald, the thing I was saying.
But that came from the comics.
I know.
That came from Brian Michael Bendis.
I wouldn't mind a pre-face turn gladiator.
Yes. Yeah. An actual villainous gladiator would be fine.
Just focus on the Frank Miller stuff. Bring in Black Widow. Who cares? I don't care if it's out of continuity. MCU doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, well, you could bring the Black Widow in and just say it's an alternate universe, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
They just screwed up all
Marvel
all
Universe
continuity just by opening up all the different things. So
yeah.
I cannot. I cannot not use words, Tevye. I will always use words. Sometimes I might not use words you like, but I will always not use. Besides, SJW these days, it's woke. Woke just means SJW. It's the new version.
Anti-SJW, SJW, they're both people who are just.
It's like when Calgon comes back and they say, "Oh, we got the new and improved. It's more powerful." That's what woke is.
They could bring in Yelena for all they want to. I don't care.
I'm treating this story as allegedly until it actually happens. Well,
True.
any movie announcement, I would take that, because remember, Black Panther was optioned in 1996, kids. It took 20 years to get to this.
Remember, kids, this is going to be horrible, so don't watch it. Yeah. Retweet and share out this video. This is going to be a horrible show.
Right. Yeah, it should put that. Yeah, Disney runs scared on Daredevil. Disney is dead.
Disney's new Daredevil show woke. There you go.
Let's see who else. See, I would like to see some. I love you guys know, in my opinion, the best run of comics is the Frank Miller Daredevil. But I would like to see some of the crazier Daredevil villains. I'm sorry, I would.
Okay,
so maybe this is the way I need to go. Maybe the I'm pointing to the screen here instead of maybe this is how I need it to go, because I want to see Angar the Screamer. I want to see the freaking swordsman. What was the name?
Matador.
The Matador, yeah.
Just give me
Bring
a
in,
backtrack the leaper.
they had Owlsy, but they didn't do anything with him. They didn't make him the owl. Let's bring in the owl. I want to see some of the crazy stuff. I want to see Matt Murdock play Mike Murdock. Let's do that. Why not? Let's this might actually be a good thing.
Well, whether they go
weirdest stuff,
whether they go lighthearted or stay grim, they absolutely need Foggy and Karen in the actors that played them.
Yeah. Also, what I would do with this is I would finish up the story. And instead of, and like I said, do not underplay the dramatic moments. But if they did want to move it towards more of an MCU thing and bring in this kind of lighthearted stuff, what I would do is I would make it grim with a few jokes in there. And as the season goes towards its end, make it more lighthearted. Maybe even have like an 8 episode or 10 episode season where the first 5 episodes deal with the bullseye stuff, and then the next 5 are maybe a different antagonist, or maybe the antagonist that's been looking over it all, while I would lighten the mode to work people into this Mark Waid.
That would be great.
Somni thing.
They could just take the 170 through 172 where the Kingpin comes back. Rise to power.
Well, they've already done that though. They can't. You can't do
I
that.
don't care. Do it again. Continue it.
Well,
go lay down, Bangman.
It would be.
I wish I could.
One thing they could do, since they did bring in Hydra in the MCU, or they could bring in AIM and do the Fall of the Kingpin, because that was basically one of my favorite lines. AIM are world conquerors. You're a crime lord. Of course.
Mark is right. Give us 12. Yeah. Go to the 6 episode crap, I'm done with that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Look, some people are complaining about the 10 episodes, 12 episodes being too long, but I think Moon Knight proved that you need more than 6. That was just bad. Yeah. That first episode was so promising and it never lived up. But thank gosh we have Obi-Wan now, right, guys?
You could bring in Heather, race swapper. She's in the wheelchair. Just make her gay.
Yeah, there you go.
Becky's in the wheelchair. Heather was the short black.
Put Heather in there because she's just that traumatized.
Murderous vigilantes like Scourge are great. Doodle Scotch says, let's see, Daredevil I think is going to be fine, says Tevia. Fingers crossed. Undead Quinn says, don't forget Disney already censored the MCU shows by removing Blood and Black Widow. Really? I didn't see that.
Well, I'll just say that if you don't bring back Turk, I'm not watching.
A black guy that this white guy can beat up every episode.
I want him flying through Josie's window every episode.
I know, every episode. Yeah, that would be awesome. That would really be awesome. I love the bits where Josie is saying, can you just take him out the door? Those are some of my...
the first time, he didn't throw him out the window. He jumped himself through the window.
Yeah. Those are some of my favorite moments in the comics and stuff. Now, you guys know I'm a shill. I've made no bones about it. I love superhero stuff. So when I hear people say, aren't you tired of superhero movies? Go yourself. No, of course not. Shut the up. Okay. I worked as a projectionist. I worked as a movie theater manager, and I had to sit through 5 million freaking romantic comedies, 8 million buddy cop movies or crime procedurals. So finally they're making movies that, for me, with subjects that I like. Shut the hell up for 5 seconds. Okay. Yeah. Some of them's going to be bad, but you know what? A lot of them are at least entertaining, and some of them are actually very freaking good.
Give me the Stanley episode where he goes to the bathroom.
Stop it with it. I'm tired of the superhero things, or all of this sucks, so I don't watch it, because I don't buy it. If you blanket shit with a statement, I don't believe you. You have what that tells me what that tells me is you haven't been watching, or you went in already with a freaking opinion on everything, and it's not going to change. That's it. I just don't freaking respect it. I don't buy it. Okay, I don't buy that you're watching everything. If everything sucks, no. Be just a little freaking more open and be a little more, at least to respect our intelligence enough to know that we know that you're full of shit. Okay, all right. That's my rant about that crap. But the thing is I like these shows. Absolutely. I like the fact that they're making as many as they are now. That being said, I tried with ObiWan. I'm going to finish the show. I tried. I wanted to like that movie. Man, Ewan McGregor, I think freaking pretty much killed it in the prequels. And so I was looking forward to it. And wow, I got to tell you, to me, it's a beautiful train wreck because I cannot look away. It's an amazing thing that they're doing. It seems like they're incapable of making a right choice. And even when they make a right choice, they do something wrong with it. And it just, oh my gosh, it's amazing to me. It is amazing to me how they are treating this show. So yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I was just going to say that for monologuing, can we get Mysterio in here?
Say again?
I am ready to monologue.
Right. I guess we need music behind it. Something.
I was going to say,
in the ninth grade.
What you could do is you could bring in the old Stan Lee version where you know what? So they're talking about doing the Fantastic Four, but you don't have to show the Fantastic Four. You could show the building where he fights against Electro, and he has to use his radar sense to steer the rocket ship back in, so he can go back into,
Christopher Barkin is saying, okay, England team, how is ObiWan a bad show? Now, first of all, I do not know the lore outside of the movies. So I don't know who this Inquisitor is or who that Inquisitor is or anything like that. So I don't come from a place of oh my gosh, they broke continuity with this and that and the other. I haven't even watched the cartoons. So I am strictly by what's shown with this character and what's shown with that character and everything. I actually believe that at some point in time, Ben Kenobi either saw Darth Vader or he did, in fact, face him down like he did here. That being said, I just wanted to let you guys know where I was for as far as that, because I know a lot of people are complaining about continuity and stuff. I don't really know much about that, but okay, if you're saying, yeah, like Tevi is saying, Grand Inquisitor got killed in the Rebels, therefore he couldn't have gotten killed. Now, I don't know about that. So this is why I think ObiWan is a bad show. The writing and the acting, basically. And the direction. Okay, so I understand how maybe you could say Ben Kenobi's rusty. He hasn't been practicing the Force or anything like that because he's been in hiding. And the last thing he's heard is all the Jedi have to go underground and you got to stay in hiding, especially him, since he's supposed to be looking after one of the kids. So, okay, maybe he's a little rusty, but that doesn't mean he's stupid. And they've been writing Ben Kenobi as stupid. And this is where I don't blame ObiWan. I do blame the director, because he should have known. The one scene that it made ObiWan look the dumbest to me, of course, is the scene where he's fighting the stormtroopers and they're at a fence, and you could see that the fence doesn't go all the way into the rock. Like, had they built the sensors into they made it look like a World War II Nazi guard base where all you got to do is walk around either side. So you have this whole scene where he beats up these Nazis or the stormtrooper, excuse me. And then instead of walking around the gate, he goes and he's like struggling with it and then shoots it. I thought that he was going to drive the truck through. Okay, yeah, you get the transport in there, and that's a little extra. Oh, no, you're walking. Oh, okay. That whole scene right there, there's a whole big controversy around this black girl that's playing one of the Inquisitors. She can't act. At one point in time, she's talking to someone, and she says to them, I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the dialogue straight. Okay, so we need to get the doohitsy to the thing, and why don't we do it now? I mean, it's just that is the reading, not literally, but that is the kind of reading she's giving. The emphasis on the wrong syllable is her biggest her biggest mistake as an actress. She's not that good. Where if she were a little bit more subtle, I think she's got that look, which tells me that she came straight from Boston instead of some other planet. She's very much an American, by the way. She's very much an American urban black person in this role. And if you're going to be in a galaxy far, far away, it's kind of like the same thing where everybody said about what's the comedian's name? Bill Burr. He comes from the planet Boston. You know, he's got that deep accent that some people just can't get rid of the fact that he sounds like he's from Boston. I have the same thing with this young lady, and it wouldn't even bother me if she learned how to act with it. If she learned how to use it in a way where she could seem like she's inhabiting that world. But I cannot get past the fact that it looks like she's just acting. And that pulls me out of the show immediately every time she's on. And unfortunately, this show is just about as much about her as it is Ben Kenobi, who is, by the way, once again, I think Ewan McGregor's an excellent actor. I just think that the direction and the writing has him moping around so much. Yeah, he's out of practice, but he's been using a blaster instead of anything Force-like, it seems. The best scene with Ewan McGregor was when he walked on, what was his name? Nahaja, whatever the guy's name is, the comedian who was pretending to be a Jedi. That scene, he was the most Jedi-like. That's what I liked. Otherwise, yeah, I'm sorry. Obi-Wan is swing and a miss, but I'm going to watch it all the way because it is amazingly bad. It's just, I can't stop watching how bad this is. Yeah.
You can't stop watching it. He has a stopwatch.
I know, right? Okay, I know some people.
You're done with Star Wars.
Let's see. Not everything sucks. Have you seen Morbius? It's Morbid time. I love that short. Yes, that was awesome. But the movie sucked. I did watch the movie. It didn't suck. It was.
I'm just curious. It was just bad. I have no idea there was anything after 1984 as far as Star Wars. That's news to me.
Al, stop it with that MCU shit. Come on, be original. Be original. One time I got on to Eric about something. You remember this when I first responded to one of your comments in the comment section. I said, I know what Diversity in Comics said. I want to hear what you say. I know what he thinks. I want to hear.
Yeah, and I've never liked you.
I know, right? You've been, yeah. So, Al, I'm going to say this. I know what Gary thinks. I want to know what you think. Okay? I watch Gary's videos too. Now I want to know what you think. Don't fucking come in here and regurgitate what other people are saying. This is for you to have a voice. I read all the comments, or at least I read most of the comments. So this is the time for you to speak out. Don't tell me what everybody else is saying. All right. By the way, I'm freaking wired right now. My sugar's all fucking off, and I'm. Punisher is rated R show. He didn't fit the new Marvel universe, and somehow a PG-13 Blade is in the works. It didn't work the first time they tried. They tried a PG-13 Blade.
It's Spike TV.
Oh, the TV show. Okay.
Yeah, PG-13 with sticky fingers.
So. All right.
They had that real hot girl from the car commercials, though. So that.
Oh yeah, it had the girl who actually went on to.
She's like, she makes Hallmark movies now. Jill Wagner.
Yeah. She went on to do after that launched her career. Actually, she went on to do 7 seasons of what's it called, Teen Wolf on MTV, and then
she was on that.
Yeah,
I guess she was playing the Mother Wolf by then.
She was Argent's sister, the main guy.
I know nothing about.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just saying. Yeah, she was like the main character was dating this girl. Her family is a bunch of werewolf hunters, and she was like the aunt of that girl's family.
Now,
Let's
was
see.
it, speaking of, was it last night we were talking about Laura Vandervoort? Was that, remember we were talking about Supergirl?
Laura Vandervoort?
Yeah, the old
Yeah.
Smallville series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I IMDb'd her. Apparently she makes Hallmark movies now.
Yeah, she was on that show Bitten for a while.
Yeah.
She's
She's done about 7 Hallmark movies since then.
Her as Supergirl could turn anybody into a Tex Avery cartoon.
Yeah.
I'll just say that right now. Yeah. Let's see. Eglantine will bash his head through a wall when Vader Kenobi fight happens.
I say, look at this. I mean, watch what you watch. You know.
Yeah.
If somebody says they don't like it and you like it, enjoy it. What you like.
This is Wired and my freaking sugar is up. We've been trying to ditch the soda, so I switched the tea. The problem is I think this has more sugar because I've noticed anytime I freaking drink the teas, I'm always like, I'll
just say this quickly on the whole MCU thing. I've accepted it since Avengers that this is not for comic book fans. This is for people who don't read comic books.
Okay.
That's why so many changes.
Let's see. Eglantine, any opinion on the Obi-Wan fighting Darth Vader in this show? It went about how I thought it would be. Now, I don't like the fact that they nerfed Obi-Wan to make Darth Vader look badass. Darth Vader looks badass anyway. What it could have been is he had never seen Darth Vader. He only knows him as Anakin. So one, don't have somebody announce to him that it's freaking Anakin Skywalker. Have that be a surprise to Kenobi. Mm-hmm. He is now off of his freaking game because he can't believe that this monstrosity in front of him is his former Padawan and friend. So that throws him, and Darth Vader's able to use that against him to drag him into the fire, which then throws him so he's not able to concentrate to use the Force. That would be a far smarter way to use the Darth Vader identity against Ben Kenobi. Ben wouldn't be nerfed, and Darth Vader would have been proven to be a badass, as we all know him to be. Let's see. What I think is I don't shill for Disney. Yeah, but you shill for others. Woke garbage. Okay, look, hey, I'm not into woke either. And I don't like how they are ruining all classic Marvel characters. So you want to explain all. That's the thing. Al, we've heard it. It's boring. You're boring me right now. Okay? Have a thought of your own. Fill it out. Come on up, man. Or come on the show, actually. Do you have a microphone? Jump on. But I want to hear you. I don't want to hear the others. Explain how Disney is ruining all classic Marvel characters. She was so hot back in the small. Yeah, she was. Hey, Rhaegar, what's up? Eglantine is the new Hulk. Who still has a Disney Plus account? Feel like a beat up one? No. Oh, no, not at all. But the thing is, I didn't get Disney Plus for the new shit. I still watch the new stuff, but I actually got Disney Plus because it's got all the classic stuff on it. You know, I do like to go back into my childhood and occasionally watch the Apple Dumpling Gang or the Peter Pan. I love the Disney Peter Pan movie or Rescuers. I could tell you what, I saw that smirk there, Eric, when I said Apple Dumpling Gang. Oh, yeah. I watched The Adventures of Bullwhip Griffin. I hadn't seen it in forever, man. Seriously. It was fucking, I loved it. Loved it. So yeah, I got the Disney Plus for all the old stuff. I still watch the new stuff, and I did not like Falcon and the Snowman. That's very well known. And What If is possibly the worst TV show I've seen in a decade.
I actually like Hawkeye. Moon Knight, I was mixed on that. What If, I only saw 3 episodes.
Moon Knight was a flat line. Moon Knight was a rice cake to me. It had great promise in that first episode. It just didn't finish well. So I got to say, I'm not a fan of the last few things that were done except for Hawkeye. Hawkeye was brilliant.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier had interesting parts.
Mhm.
Overall storyline should have been 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Loki was good.
We split on WandaVision. I thought
Yeah.
WandaVision was brilliant right up
That's
to
not
the
my
very
it's
end.
not my cup of tea.
Yeah. Right up to the end. I just thought that but then again, they made up for it in the Doctor Strange movie by making her the actual villain that she should have been. Drink club soda, add some caffeinated water and lemon to it. You get the carbonation and the caffeine and the fruit flavor. I'm trying to stay away from the caffeine as much because it doesn't lend itself to the weight loss. I don't like to say I'm losing weight because that's the worst. Because anytime a fat person tells skinny people they're losing weight, oh my gosh, every one of you skinny fucks turns into some nutritionist. I don't need to hear it. I don't, oh, what are you doing? Well, actually, I'm doing more push-ups. I'm lifting weights to build up muscle. Then when I go out and I actually do
This is my calorie chart right
Yeah.
here.
You know you're in trouble when other fat people start giving you health advice.
I know, right? But yeah, I get that all the I don't tell my skinny friends that I'm trying to lose weight because god dang, just shut up. Let me do my thing. All right. Yeah, I know. I'm an asshole tonight, man. Oh, Glenzer, thanks. Past decade, I almost bought every Masterworks or Omnibus. I've read 20%. What a blast. Infinity War was my last MCU. The comics are better, in my opinion.
See, I agree. For certain movies I liked out of the MCU, I mean, there's people who love every movie that came out of the MCU. People who love maybe 1 or 2. You know, I'm right in the middle somewhere. I like certain things, but I at first I was pissed because like, oh, they're doing this version. They're doing this version. Why do I care about this? Then I realized they're not making for people who are comic book nerds. They're making for people who don't read comic books, don't collect. All this is for the normies, for the most part. They did throw some parts in there with Captain America holding the hammer because I knew a normie would crap his pants. Oh my gosh, Captain America is holding Thor's hammer.
He did that in the comics too.
I know, but I mean, they did that for the normies. They know normies would go with that. But there's a lot of changes they made that I thought was dumb. But they'll say that they're all going to replace all the male characters with female characters. Chris Evans stepped down. He didn't want to be the character anymore. He wanted to leave. There's a few of them that did and all. Robert Downey Jr. had no idea, but
the
MCU was basically. I'll just say that the MCU started with him. Why would it not end with him? That's why I looked at it.
So a lot of people, the MCU did end with Infinity War and Endgame. Yeah. And hey, that's fine. If you watch what you watch, you like what you like, you don't like what you don't like.
Yeah.
The thing is that when you get to it, what's next? Because let's face it, one of the reasons is because Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., even Chris Hemsworth, a lot of these guys priced out. And Robert Downey Jr., let's face it, is aging out. Yeah. I mean, granted, all he'd has to do is sit there and, put his head in a screen and all that kind of shit. But they're aging out and they're pricing out. So you got to go to the next characters. My problem isn't so much that they might bring in some female characters. I love She-Hulk.
Yep.
I have no problem with Ms. Marvel, if you put it with the Carol Danvers thing, but we saw what she did. As a matter of fact, I've said Kamala Khan's a good character, but she's had bad writing. It doesn't look like it's going to get better.
As far as the Thor movie, we don't know if Chris Hemsworth if he's leaving and they're just going to replace her with her. This could be a one-time thing for Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman fancies herself bigger than this too. She's not going to hang around.
She's a actor. Yeah, they backed up a dump truck full of money.
Was that what it was with Mila Kunis and Black Swan?
Say again?
Is that what they call that? Her with Mila Kunis and Black Swan?
Yeah.
Actor.
Yeah, that's it. Yes. Yeah. Perhaps England team could consider it. It has helped me. I drink soda pop once in a while, but
I will say this: Miss Marvel looks cringe because
actually I don't.
3.
I actually
2,
Eric.
1.
What? Oh, we've got it.
It's tradition now.
As far as the soda pop is concerned, Gail has actually been able to break the habit easier than I have. So maybe I will try that. I was thinking of making my own tea without sugar in it and all that like I used to. It worked out for me that way. Let's see. Rescuers Down Under was a freaking very underrated movie. Let's see.
Hulk, I was going to say the Hulk is actually now Professor Hulk, which is actually comic book based.
Say again?
Replying back to Alice Simmons' new complaint.
Okay, let me scroll down here. I'll get to all that kind of stuff here. Let's see. Disney Plus needs to put on the old cartoons. I know they've got some. I watched them. If you go to Disney, like it'll have the banner, and right under it'll have like Marvel, Star Wars, so forth. One of them is Disney. If you go there, it will have Disney through the years, or it'll be like what do you call it? Chronological Disney, and you can actually see it from 1930s all the way down, and that's where I go to. I found a whole bunch of the old cartoons, including my favorite. I watched at Christmas time, the one with Pluto and Chip and Dale, and they get caught in the Christmas tree and all that kind of stuff. Good stuff.
I hope they
Not being argumentative, I've also been led to believe that the MCU would all be female characters. Isn't that what you guys have been discussing, or am I right or wrong? They probably, I don't know if I see that if there's that word all. Are they putting out female characters? Yeah, we're watching it. Here comes Natalie Portman's Thor. Here comes She-Hulk. Here's Ms. Marvel. Okay. Seriously, have we not seen female characters in Marvel? If they brought in Spider-Woman, would you be like, oh, fuck you, another woman character?
Yeah, because they'd use the 8-month pregnant one.
That, you know what, I would worry about the story more than I would. Yeah. Like I said, these days, don't be careful what you wish for. But they've got female characters and have had female characters for 60 freaking years. What's the problem with them putting them on the screen? Because they want all males. The only problem, and I will say this, because I see it too. Is if you, while writing this, if they make the male characters look bad to do it. And I don't mean by somebody saying, America, you have the power. That's not making Doctor Strange feel bad. See, he's the one that figured out how to defeat Wanda. It's by using her. No, he didn't do anything. His dick was cut off. No,
she was the MacGuffin. That's all she was.
She was an it. All she was an it. She wasn't actually a she, because she had no character beyond the fact that she had a superpower. That was all she was, and all the way freaking through it. Yeah, so I don't buy into that. Sorry. Simple hiring people who not only know nothing about the comics and characters, but in some cases proud they know nothing. Yeah, I agree with LK on this one. What? Yeah. Well, that's been going on with the comics since 2013.
Well, that's been going with every book that just turned into a movie.
Any opinion on Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, especially in Wanda being a villain? Because I was fine with her. I love the fact that they made her a villain. What was the biggest complaint about WandaVision? Seriously, what was the biggest? It wasn't the whole, while some people complained about the fact that they did different TV shows, that wasn't the big complaint. The big complaint was they just let her go when she was a bad guy. Hello, kids. She's a bad guy. And still, look what they did to Wanda. More caffeine in the tea than that might be why I'm freaking wired now, because I've been cutting down for a while. Nicotine is a great appetite suppressant. Should I start smoking then? Eric, you smoke. Have you been losing weight?
Yeah, fuck, do I look like I've been losing weight? That is the biggest misnomer I have ever heard.
Wait, what about the drinking? Were you able to lose weight?
I had a neighbor who had a bad back and he couldn't afford the insurance to go get his back fixed in the runs.
I could start heroin.
He started smoking cigarettes to deal with the pain. He also went for walks.
Okay, kids.
But that doesn't mean it didn't have anything to do with whether or not it kept him from eating like a pig. No,
I'm just saying.
Technically, it
moved
can.
around. He walked everywhere.
Okay. Since it moved over to my weight loss, quick poll: which way would be quicker and easier to lose weight and better for me? Heroin addiction or AIDS? Let me go. You guys tell me in the comments.
Why not both?
Why?
Exactly.
You know what?
At the
Actually,
same
by
time.
doing one, I might get the other.
There
So,
you go.
yeah.
No, I was actually I was thin when I was a drunk.
Yeah,
It wasn't until
alcoholism.
after. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got to be able to push yourself up off the ground, right?
No, I used to have a metabolism that allowed me to eat and drink anything I wanted as much as I wanted.
Oh,
Okay.
I saw a picture.
Then
of
I
you
got
before.
old.
Yeah, you were
Let's
skinny.
see. Maranya saying I watched Captain Marvel recently. The people who claimed it was woke central watched a completely different movie than the main flaw I saw was Carol had zero character growth. I could break that down for you. But I really want to hit LK's comment. Phase 4 is about pushing the females. Now, this is the important part. The balance is gone. Okay, let's talk about the balance of female to male characters in phase 1 through 3. Let's see. You have Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Captain America, or Thor, Captain America, and then the Avengers. Wait, Black Widow is in 2 of those. Okay, there we go. All right, then we had Iron Man 2. What was it? Captain America, Winter Soldier. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man. And then what was it? Age of Ultron, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah. Okay, so that's 10 movies. Wait, once again, we had that's 3 because Black Widow was in the Avengers. Should we count Janet Van Dyne before she got to be the Wasp? Because so far we got 10 movies and we got three movies that had a female-centered film. So what's the balance that we're looking for?
Yeah.
Is it the action figure balance where you release 100 action figures and 90 of them are going to be the male characters and
you release 9 to build one figure?
I mean, technically you could put the Black Widow into the earlier movies, so you might have 6 films that have women in it. So I once again, I just don't see putting the movies out there, just having the characters in films being a big deal. It's always the writing. That's where it falls.
The idea that guys don't like watching hot women kick ass.
Well, some guys don't.
Is BS. No, there's
some guys want to be that woman kicking ass.
No, but it all comes out, like you said, writing. We don't want to sit there. We kind of lose interest in the strong, hot women kicking ass if the men around her are
weak,
are all So that's where all the the opinions that get formed. It's just taking something and taking it to its logical conclusion. Sometimes people get more, upset by something like that than others. And I can see where I might not necessarily agree wholeheartedly with like what Al's been saying. I get his point, and I can see how you can get to that point, even if I'm not there myself. But I said if you can see what you want to see, because if it's there to start with, it's easy to see maybe more than might actually be there, but something had to be there to get that ball rolling. Like I said, the scene in Avengers where all the women come together, that didn't bother me because it was just there. I was more bothered by the fact that they kind of glossed over Tony's death and cut like a minute out of that scene that would have made it a lot more.
The
impactful.
kneeling scene was awesome. I thought, especially when it was Black Panther and Thor. When Thor went down on his knee, everybody should have gone just because it's Thor. He's the god of thunder. When Black Panther took a knee, he is a king bowing to this man. So that lent weight. I thought that was a great freaking scene they cut out.
And now he's the god of calorie consumption.
He's not got Well,
actually, no, he lost weight in this movie.
In the new one, he's coming back. In the new one, but I get with the Thor thing. First of all, I liked the first movie. I'm not bothered by the second movie.
I like it.
And like everybody else, the third one, I thought, wow, that was a lot of fun. When are they going to do another Thor movie?
I was glad they did Unworthy Thor off camera. We didn't get to see it. There was a
well, no, we saw it in the Avengers Endgame and Infinity
a
War.
little bit of it. There was no other Thor the whole time while he's Unworthy Thor.
Yeah,
He basically revealed he doesn't need Mjolnir. He still has his powers, unlike Jason Aaron's, where he's like, I have no powers.
The thing is it looks to me like Love and Thunder is going to be the rise of Thor, because we've seen the fall. If what I see is what I'm seeing here, the beginning with the Guardians of the Galaxy, also obviously that's going to happen in the beginning of the movie. Something's going to make him go, you know what? Enough being around, enough being fat Thor, sad, lonely. You know, he's going to get over, or at least he's going to find his confidence again, because he lost half of his freaking planet. And then he lost half of the people there that were with him. He got his ass whipped. And then him not going for the head, basically Thanos looked him right in the eyes and said, "This is your fault." So I understand why it would take some time to get over that. Fine. But it looks like that's what's going to happen, and Love and Thunder is going to be the rise of Thor. I do not think it's going to be the rise of Jane Foster. And Eric makes the best case for it. Not what's on screen, but what's off screen. What's off screen is an actress who is going for her Oscar and not the big dump truck full of money. Let's see. Yeah, I'm way behind on these, I'm sure.
I'm thinking, though, we might actually see, though, hopefully, if they do it correctly, you might just see him take over as King of Asgard. He finally learned that he's his place.
Yeah.
I hope that's what they do towards the end of the movie.
Didn't Asgard blow up?
Well, no, they got Valkyrie is King of Asgard because he didn't want to do it because he was Unworthy Thor at the time.
Queen. No, she's not king. She's
I know, but you know what I mean. Yes,
she's queen.
She's ruler.
I'm not buying into that. I'm not buying into that. Oh, thank you, Rhaegar. It's not for comic fans. Is not a good excuse. It's one thing to write things just for film. It's another to utterly attack competence in story writing. Yeah, I would never say it's not for comic fans.
Well, they're not doing word for word. They're doing what DC does. They grab a part of story and then they change it to what they want to do.
No, but it's inarguable. You cannot write a movie just for comic fans. We're too particular.
Yep.
Well, also it's kind of like if you've ever had a conversation with Dalton about.
Sorry, I just read Rhaegar's last comment. That's
okay. Awesome. If you ever read it off.
We was Kangs.
Oh, okay. If you've ever had a conversation with how Dalton would like the Doctor Strange movies to go, you would have to start at the beginning and just go through the entire lore bit by bit, which would take about 52 films to cover the entire.
And you could open them in people's living rooms.
And Dalton liked Doctor Strange too.
But
he changed his opinion.
Yeah, he did. Well, he liked Doctor Strange too because finally it was showing a lot of the weird stuff that Doctor Strange is into. But the thing is when some comic book fans want, say, the Infinity Gauntlet to be brought onto the screen, they want it to be word for word, panel for panel. But the thing is that would be too convoluted and too weird. I think they should do that for animation, though. I really do. For an animated movie, panel for panel, make that freaking thing move. That's basically it. But thank you very much, Rhaegar, for.
And that's kind of what DC's been doing their animated movies, but they'll change something on there, like you did with Hush. They switched it, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. But it's easier to do more animated movies than it is to do the big budget, CG stuff. I mean, I would like Disney's had their own Marvel cartoons over the years, and not all, like I said, look at the 1990s X-Men cartoons and the Spider-Man cartoon. Those were nothing like the comic books. They changed stuff. The writing was good on it, but at times the art was bad. But nobody was complaining about it, though.
I think Tevia is trolling me.
No, he's still here?
Yeah. I've made videos about my opinion of Sam Wilson as Captain America. Lots of videos. I highly recommend you watch the Captain America number 25. Sam Wilson as Captain America. Okay, let's get to this for the 1,000th time.
Not
Get
very.
ready, Vang.
Okay, Sam Wilson is Captain America. I actually got to say, I did watch today. I watched something. What's his name? The drunk Scottish guy. I watched his video, and he brought up something too. And he mentioned Sam Wilson as soon as they turned him into Captain America was Steve Rogers, but he was Steve Rogers in blackface. My take on this is that they do this so they can elevate a black character. Think about that for a second. Think about it. Seriously. They do this so they can elevate a black character. This is Marvel's first African-American character. His whole job was to protect Harlem. That's what he did before or while he met Captain America. According to the not racist, right? Because if you point this shit out, they will call you a racist. I have experience in this. According to them, taking the first African-American superhero made by Marvel, and don't give me that Black Panther shit until you can tell me what part of America Wakanda is in. But they took him, they gave him the name of his white partner and called that an elevation. They stripped him of his own identity, gave him his name gave him the name of his white partner, the job of his white partner, and called it an elevation, and then will call me a freaking racist for pointing it out. And yes, they wipe him away of all of his purpose, his identity, and his personality while doing it. This is a person who is wearing his friend's clothes, and you know it. You know it. So, no, I do not like Sam Wilson as Captain America.
I do not like green eggs and ham.
And the reason I don't like Sam Wilson as Captain America is not as the dumbasses on freaking Marvel would tell you, you don't like black people. Go yourself, Marvel. It's because you're being freaking racist, as you always have been with your black characters. I've done another video, please look it up on this channel, about Monica Rambeau and how you've treated her. So yeah, that's why I don't like Sam Wilson. I think it's just it's ridiculous to suggest that him taking the identity of his white counterpart or his white partner and calling it a promotion.
You're here, brother. You tell them. You tell them.
Plus, every time, and we see this all the time with the Batman. We see it with Captain America. Well, Captain America, that's just a role. Anybody can be Captain America. They've changed Captain America before. And every time they have, it was all to show that nobody can be Captain America except for Steve Rogers. Nobody can be Batman except for Bruce Wayne. They could wear the outfit, but they can't actually be the character. And please, can somebody tell me someone who hasn't taken the super soldier is really throwing that shield with the same power as Captain America? Freaking ridiculous. It was ridiculous, just ridiculous. Let's see. What I loved about casting of America was that in the comics she acted. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
She acted like she was 12, but in the movie she was 12, says Jim Sorensen. Let's see. Disney will never be able to duplicate the masterpiece that was a Netflix Daredevil. I absolutely agree. That's something me and Al agree on. Let me scroll down here a little bit further. Sorry, I'm skipping over some guys. I'm just waiting. Black characters are not allowed to have their own mythology. They always have to be the second version of an already established white character or sidekick, is what I'm going to add in there. The worst thing I start talking about Mr. DC, and I'm sorry for going over the same stories, Eric, but the worst thing that I'd seen in a long time, as far as that's concerned, was the Mr. Miracle issue, where the book starts with him in space doing a halo dive, and when he gets to the ground, for which this is a stunt for which he is paid a lot of money, and you could tell that by the freaking fancy apartment he's in. He then goes to his therapist and talks about white privilege.
In a related story, LeBron James became a billionaire last week. He of the America is systemically racist.
Yeah,
LeBron James. Now, I said, I get all your points about Sam being Cap.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, this is one place where we've said this before. I don't agree 100%. I agree when the other characters you mentioned, but if there was ever anybody assuming someone else's identity and being a promotion, it would be to become Captain America, because he is the standard bearer for the Marvel superhero universe. Not to say that he should stay that way permanently, but I think that's one time where it could be thought of as a promotion if you take race out of it. But that's the problem. Marvel,
but since race is in it, that's why I would say put Bucky in the outfit and have Falcon say, "No, I've worked on this identity. It is me."
There you go.
Because that's how Falcon stays Falcon, and you still have the Black Power thing that Disney is trying to do, but instead, as they always do it, it's these. What do you call them? The Karens and Steves or whatever you call them. Anytime they step up, they always step up for the what do they call it? Marginalized.
Right.
Except for they're the ones that are marginalizing them.
If they did it and did not draw attention to the race aspect, that Sam Wilson earned the promotion to Captain America because Steve was unable to do it at that time temporarily, I can buy that. Mm-hmm. Same way I could buy it with Bucky, but at the end of the day, Steve Rogers is Captain America. It's not a mantle. Nope. It can be temporarily replaced when necessary, but at the end of the day, Steve is Captain America.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
They did in the comics, actually, after Steve was frozen to block bias, they had somebody fill in, I thought, for a little bit.
Yeah, that didn't go very well, though.
Yeah, no. But I remember
that was the first time that Bucky got killed.
The one that the stand-in Bucky, he got killed, didn't he? In the Brubaker run?
Oh no, the Jack Monroe did.
Yeah.
He was can't remember where he fit into that whole lore. I know he was Nomad, and then as far as I know, he stayed dead.
He's the only character that stayed dead.
Well, he's hanging out with Uncle Ben.
I was going to talk about another character they're planning on screwing up, but I don't know if a whole bunch of people are going to understand, because I just don't think he's as relevant. Like, to me and my old ass, he is. Because I remember watching his cartoons, and I like it. New Popeye cartoonist Randy Mulholland wants to modernize Sweet Haven. Olive Oil is a millennial, and Popeye is a tail-end Gen Xer. Sunday marks the dawn of a new era for the beloved Popeye comic strip. King Features Syndicate has announced that the cartoonist Randy Mulholland, best known for his webcomic Something Positive, will take over the character and his adventures on June 5th, following the retirement of cartoonist High Iceman. Iceman has been drawing the Sunday Popeye strip since 1994, leaving behind a 28-year legacy. But don't fret! Mulholland has said on Twitter that daily Popeye strips will continue to be reprints from cartoonist Bug Sagenorf, who worked as creator E. Seeger's assistant and then began producing Popeye comics in 1959. Besides, character is in great hands with Mulholland. In the press release, King Features notes blah, 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 blah. Mulholland's passion for Popeye history and lore will allow him to both stay true to the character's 1929 debut in Thimble Theater Comics and allow him to modernize Popeye. Olive Oil is a millennial at this point, and Popeye is a tail-end Gen Xer. Mulholland is apparently looking to update the strip's humor and diversify Popeye's cast of characters, which could make the town of Sweet Haven look much different. Meanwhile, Mulholland also intends to reintroduce the more fantastical elements of the strip that have been lost over the years, including monsters and other adventures. He's bringing back characters who haven't been seen in nearly a century, like Olive Oil's sister-in-law, Celinda Oil. Okay, so there you go. He's focused on reminding readers that in addition to tough guy and defender of the underdog, they know and love Popeye is also sentimental and kind. There you go, gang. Okay, so another one bite the dust.
So when he goes to defend her millennial honor, he's going to get arrested.
Yeah.
Nah, she's not going to need no man.
Well, what about the whole battle for her heart between Bluto and Popeye?
Bluto's gonna be like, I'm with a guy now.
All of a sudden, Bluto's going to be arrested for rape because he manhandles Olive Oil.
She'll pull out a gun. It's the 21st century.
Popeye is a modern take. So, yep. Popeye's going to be popping cans of marijuana edibles.
I was just watching the clip of from Robin Williams' Popeye.
My question would simply be, what's the point?
Exactly.
Everything that made Popeye great is problematic to anybody that this strip is now aiming at, which means they're going to have to change everything but the names. And when you do that, at some point, it's the law of diminishing returns. When they did the Bewitched movie with what's his name, the Saturday Night Live guy, Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
and Nicole Kidman. Everything was different.
Yeah,
they just traded on the names, but it had been so long that audience had moved on.
Yeah,
and it failed miserably. Does Popeye, Olive Oil, Bluto, Wimpy, Sweet Pea, and we ain't going to Goon Island. I can guarantee you that.
Well, maybe if they bring back the fantastic elements of it.
Are the names enough? I mean, have they survived to this day in enough numbers to make it worth doing that?
I don't know. Marmaduke just had a movie out that did some business. It didn't do great. Clifford was a mild success last year. So it is possible to bring these things forward. I mean, I guess that when you do something like this, you're chasing the Alvin and the Chipmunk money.
But those characters have universal appeal to children. Big red dog, big dog. Those are the kind of things that kids love. A guy that gets his ass handed to him in the first half of every episode, then eats his spinach and kicks all sorts. Is he going to take? Yeah, he'll probably just drink a can of soy milk and go deliver stern lectures.
I saw that.
Income inequality.
I saw that by Eric and Boyd. Will Popeye now open a can of soy milk to give him strength? I was thinking he's a millennial now, so he'll drink the soy milk to make him more understanding and appreciative.
Yeah,
and be able to be vocal about not only his feelings, but
they're going to bring in High and Lois and just have a High cross-dress.
There you go. Can we just have Sarge from Beetle Bailey kick all of their asses?
Beetle Bailey, imagine doing a Beetle Bailey movie. Nobody knows what it is unless you're over 50.
That's kind of my point with this. I understand. Okay, so Popeye has been in syndication somewhere to this day, but I just can't imagine that there's a demand for an updated Popeye.
Heck, I think Rocky and Bullwinkle's probably more popular than Popeye.
The last time somebody tried to do anything with it was 40 years ago, Robin Williams, and they stayed true to the old formula.
I love that movie, by the way. It's been a first of all, I can't believe they thought, okay, Popeye, who do we get to direct it? Robert Altman, the guy who did Last Picture. I couldn't believe they got him to do this, but I like the music, and I think Robin Williams was freaking spot on.
You had to do it in that era because Shelley Duvall was Olive Oil in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, holy crap.
Do we have an Olive Oil like we had Shelley Duvall? I mean, she was...
You know who could have played Olive Oil if they'd done it about 20 years ago? Martin Landau's kid. Played Drusilla on Buffy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you can envision her,
what's her name? What's her name? Who played Magic, and she was in the Queen's Gambit, the New Mutants movie.
Oh, you're talking about the girl that was in Jennifer's Body? That girl?
No. She's a new girl. She's blonde. She's in everything. Split, and that girl could be Olive Oil. She's in everything these days. I just can't think of the name. England team, why do we need I don't think we do, in all honesty. It just, when I read it, I was like, really?
Years ago. That
hello again.
Oh, okay.
There was nothing about Rocky and Bullwinkle in that you didn't do in 1962 that you couldn't do in 2022.
Watch that old Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoon. It was leaps and bounds beyond its years. I thought it was Rocky and Bullwinkle is a very intelligent cartoon. You should check it out if you.
But it's not. There was nothing about it that you couldn't do today.
No,
and
as a matter of fact, I thought that movie captured its spirit perfectly.
Yeah, and I think Popeye, like I said, just too much of what makes Popeye Popeye. I mean, the mindless violence. How about the kid, Sweet Pea, just wandering around all over the place by himself with no supervision?
Yeah,
You
like
can't even do that in a cartoon anymore without getting real life people up in arms.
yeah, Sweet Pea was the original. What was her name? Baby Mindy or whatever from the Animaniacs, where he'd walk around and just shit happened. So yeah, it's just it's weird. I don't know. Let's see. Eric and Boyd is saying I can't hate on Popeye movie. I recall it getting flack, but the casting was great and the tone of the movie was fun. I love it. Rhaegar saying also Beetle Bailey will be a 2-hour dedicated crap on the military. Well, Beetle Bailey would be in the same vein as Gomer Pyle was. I think that would be the proper way to make that. It was respectful of the military, but not that character and the characters that surrounded
him. You know what the Beetle Bailey movie would be today?
Yeah, it would suck.
Miss Buxley, Me Too's General Half Track.
You know what
I think if you actually did Beetle Bailey the way he should be done today, you would get people going, people actually die in war. Why are you doing that? That's horrible. You can't make a comedy like MASH, I think, these days without somebody saying that they're offended for the soldiers that may have got hurt. So I don't know.
They wouldn't be offended with the soldiers. If anything, all these people who are offended by stuff are offended the fact that the soldiers were going out killing people. They're all the
they're all the other way too. Yeah. One thing, the Gomer Pyle is actually a take on something Andy Griffith did, a movie he did before, which was taken from a comedy bit he did. It's called No Time for Sergeants. And I just don't see that kind of thing happening these days. I just don't. And No Time for Sergeants was made either during or right after the Korean War.
It was 1957 or 8.
So yeah, that would be like right after, right? Right after
a few years after.
Yeah, yeah.
There's so many movies that will never get another one. You'll never get another reboot of The Whipping Boy.
Another what?
Another reboot. You'll never get a reboot of The Whipping Boy.
The Whipping Boy.
That was a famous literature book they had back in the day. Read for school.
Yeah.
It actually was turned into a movie for a while.
But yeah,
it wasn't famous.
But keep it the original thing. If you've got to change everything, and I mean everything but the names, there's no point.
Yeah, might as well.
Well, there is a point to change history.
If you're going to do something that you have to change, keep it in its original time and just do it as an homage to that time. Yeah.
See, but I get what you're saying, and you probably do agree with this. Mm-hmm. You can't change history because anybody that allows that to happen, whether it's if you let the last 3 Star Wars movies ruin the first 3 for you, that's your problem. They can't go back and change that unless it's Marvel with their old comics. They will go back and reprint those.
They're constantly changing movies by doing these reboots because
right. But I'm saying
because these new kids Zoomers are not watching the older movies.
Originals are still there.
They're still
so you can still
as long as they're available.
Last comment said by absolutely nobody. But no, I said they can't go back and take away the originals from you. If you own the physical copies, so that's.
But they can make it harder for you to get a hold of watch it.
But I'm saying no matter what they trash, whatever like in this Popeye is good, more than likely going to be crap.
And I see until E brought up, I had no idea they're even doing it. So
neither
who the hell are we reading it?
And that's kind of to my point.
Yeah,
I mean, it's where is it even in? Where are there enough newspapers for it to be in syndication, reaching anybody?
Right.
Yeah, it's not exactly a timely cartoon to do a Popeye update, but I agree with your point about how it just doesn't seem to be. You're right. It's Clifford the Big Red Dog is a big ass red dog, a gigantic dog.
And
what was the other guy's name? The other one. The chipmunks are cute chipmunks.
Alvin and Chipmunks.
So was Marmaduke the other one you were?
Marmaduke, yeah. It's just
Yeah.
it's not the same thing as Popeye.
So
Popeye.
Green, in 40 years from now, they'll be making a movie about a League of Their Own reboot. There'll be guys wanting to fighting for their right to play baseball because women have taken over everything.
Well, send me a text to the great beyond because I won't be here.
Field of Dreams will be. They're gonna reboot all these movies.
Well, you hear you have guns and uncensored movies on disc. Turn them over now. That is our future, kids.
We got you guys need we're gonna do a buyback program for all your movies, your DVDs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're gonna send them over to Ukraine so they can watch them.
It's a forced buyback on all your MCU movies. Oh, I'm sorry, MCU movies.
Throw out your copy of Blazing Saddles.
WNBA, a League of Their Own, funded by men.
Okay, kids, we've been going at this an hour and 20. We've lost the plot a long time ago, but that's part of Monday, is to just talk about whatever the hell we want. So we start with one thing and then right off. So you guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you to Eric and Venkman for joining us. And tomorrow we might, if you like this type of content and would like to see more, hey, yeah, that's a good idea. Click subscribe so you don't miss this, because we might actually do a live action tomorrow as well, or a live stream. And that would be fun, wouldn't it? Okay, so do that.
And we may make sense.
Right.
Yeah, maybe sometimes. I know I flubbed that right up. Oh, and here's Tevia. We're saying goodbye now.
Oh,
all right.
I got you. But,
you guys have a great time, and as always, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night.